Come on. We will win. Because we will hit all game. We are motivated. We are dedicated. Come on now. Come on now. We will win. Because we are the best on the field. Then we hit the field light, all day light, all night light, on the blue light, offense light, defense light, his squad light, house call light, and a sound light, and a sound light, and a sound light.
Welcome to the Short Sports Show. I'm your host, Daniel Short. Today is Wednesday, November 16th, 2016. I am excited for today. We have a jam-packed show full of college football news and the NFL. We're going to recap, obviously, last week and give you this week's predictions. We're going to talk about the coaching carousel. It's not really an early look, and it's not a mid-season look. It's just right where we're at type of look. We're going to look at some of the coaching carousel, see what schools and programs are going to be having openings, which ones look like they were going to have openings and now have closed. And it looks like they found their head coach, and some that, well, they should have their head coach, who is their interim head coach right now, and might not be their head coach next year. A little weird to put that all together, but that's what we're going to talk about. Also, no more excuses for or against the Dallas Cowboys. We're going to be talking about that, as well as Kaepernick wants change, but fails to do one of the most important things. We'll talk about that as well. Quick, I just want to say thank you. Thank you all for watching, the videos that we've been putting out on YouTube. The link are in the description down below if you're not listening on YouTube. And if you can't get on the link, it's just youtube.com/The Short Sports Show. And I just want to say thank you so much because, we've had a tremendous amount of people go out and watch those videos, sharing and liking, commenting. Just a lot more than normal. So I just want to say thank you so much. And we're getting closer to our goal. We're getting closer. Again, the goal is, and we only have, I think 6.5 more weeks till this year is over with. Next week is Thanksgiving, ladies and gentlemen. Next week is Thanksgiving already. But we will, I'm trying to get to 1,500 subscribers on YouTube by the end of the year. We already have 2,500 on Spreaker alone. So I'm pretty sure we can get 1,500 on YouTube. So again, if you haven't subscribed to YouTube, please go and do that now. It's been awesome. So thank you guys. Also, we'll be changing the times of the show. Sadly, last week the season ended a lot sooner than expected, with the San Marcos High School. So, my time there will be coming to an end, sadly. But real quick, I'm making an awesome, I'm talking amazing video. So, you know, at the end of every NFL season, the NFL Films will do a season recap. They're also called yearbooks, for every single team. They do it, and you can find them on YouTube. You can actually buy them, I believe, which they cost a ridiculous amount of money to buy them. But, and I've always wanted to do that. Now, I know I don't have the deepest voice. I know I don't have the voice that most of those narrators have, but I wanted to put it together. I was able to, thanks to Coach Soto and the San Marcos coaching staff. I've been making highlights all year long for them. And, so this is to end it and recap it all, the entire season. I already have the entire audio down. I'm actually now putting together the video. I've already got the intro and the first game done. I'm working on the second game right now. I will have it up for you guys actually in a few months. First, of course, families and the Booster Club, they're all going to want to buy it. I can't just put it out there for free. But eventually, at some point, I'll put it out there. Maybe I'll even sell it to you guys. No, I don't know. But it's awesome. It's coming together really well. The audio came out just beautiful. And I'm not just talking about my voice. I'm talking about, with the music, the effects, everything. It's awesome. So be on the lookout for that because it's going to be really cool. Also, be on the lookout for InnerGrind. Check it out. Today's show is sponsored by InnerGrind. Based out of Houston, Texas, let former Texas State linebacker Michael Rakpo help you reach your fitness and nutrition goals. With personal training classes that start at $40 a session, why not be a part of this rising program? And whether your goals are to lose weight, gain muscle mass, find the right off-season program, or even for you ladies out there to get that booty blast, you can do it all with InnerGrind. Not a Houston area, not a problem. InnerGrind has a program that is personalized just for you. InnerGrind has everything you need to meet your personal and healthy goals. NFL linebackers like Titans Brian Orakpo, Chiefs Derek Johnson, Buccaneers running back Charles Sims, and San Diego Chargers cornerback Craig Mager, along with many other young athletes, have already begun. Find your personalized workout and nutrition plan at InnerGrind.com and call 832-475-2829. That's InnerGrind.com, 832-475-2829. Unleash your inner grind. So as always, we will start with college football news first, and sad news for Baylor. This is actually kind of sad. I know recently they've had some sad news, but it's, they've been doing it the wrong way. But their quarterback, Seth Russell, will undergo season-ending surgery after fracturing his left ankle at Oklahoma on Saturday. The surgery will end his collegiate career at Baylor. Russell was injured after being tackled on a 9-yard run midway through the third quarter, and he suffered a season-ending injury last year after he fractured a vertebrae in his neck against Iowa State. That injury eventually required surgery, and he was able to become cleared to play again over the summer, which was amazing. He was able to do that in the first place. But now the ankle injury, it was gruesome. I was already watching the game, and not the referees, but the TV crew had to show the replay. And I wish someone would just say, hey, this might actually be kind of bad. Maybe we should look at the replay before we actually view it to everyone else. And, yeah, it was bad. It was bad. He just straight up ankle went out of socket, and feel bad for Seth Russell because he's been a good guy all the way around. But now for Baylor, with Russell out, true freshman Zach Smith will take over for the Bears at quarterback. He completed 6 of 15 passes for 144 yards and a touchdown in relief of Russell on Saturday. So he will now take over the reins for starting quarterback for the Bears. Not how many people envision the Baylor season going. So one of the topics today is the coaching carousel. Again, it's not too early to look at this, but it's also not too late, or mid-season view. So Georgia State, they just fired their coach. Trent Miles, gone, right? And a lot of people are actually saying that this might be a really good position. You can recruit that area very well. Georgia and the southern states have, a tremendous amount of talent. Get a lot of the ACC and SEC transfers to come on over. You start building your program after that. You can easily get a bowl win and win in the weak Sun Belt. So I know most people don't talk about Georgia State, but hey, this might be a position that in 4 years from now, Georgia State is in consecutive bowl games and, maybe a good group of 5 team. So they're obviously going to be looking for a new head coach. Then you have former Miami and North Carolina head coach Butch Davis. He's leaving ESPN to go take over the Florida International University program, FIU, taking over for the Panthers. I like it. It's awesome. He gets back to the Florida area. He gets another shot to redeem himself and go build the program over there. So I like that. I'm happy with that. So again, this whole season we had several coaches who were on the, quote, hot seat, right? And most importantly, Texas. Charlie Strong, where was he going to be at? Now there's, the rumors of, well, if he wins his last 2 games, he can keep his job. Last 2 games at Kansas and then home against TCU on Black Friday. Not the easiest win there, but there is a possibility. You also had coaching situations at Auburn. At the beginning of the year, we had Auburn, Texas A&M, West Virginia, Penn State, Vanderbilt, and USC. All of them have been stabilized. And I'm going to be the first to admit, and I have to bite my words here. I said at the end of the year, Penn State and USC, both of those jobs would be available. I'm dead wrong. James Franklin has Penn State ranked number 8 now in the college football playoff poll. USC they're on a 6-7 game winning streak. They just beat Washington. Clay Helton is their guy. So I'll bite my words. But right now it's more and more looking like we have Baylor as an opening. If Oregon kept Mark Helfrich, I would be shocked. I'm surprised they didn't fire him after the Stanford loss. I really am. They can't win. They can't make a bowl game. So what was the point of keeping him to finish out the year? Might as well just throw in a new face and see what he can do. Because you're gonna be looking for a new head coach. So we're gonna have Baylor, Oregon. We could still potentially have Texas and LSU, both of which I disagree with. I do not believe Texas should fire Charlie Strong, even if they lose to TCU at the end of the year and end up going 7-5 with a bowl win. I don't believe they should fire Charlie Strong. Same for LSU. Ed Orgeron is their guy. Yeah, he's not the sexiest pick that's out there. Of course, they want Jimbo Fisher. But Ed Orgeron is a player's coach. These guys love him. This is perfect for them. It is perfect for them. But obviously, it'd be kind of dumb not to just throw out, a little, just a feeler to Jimbo Fisher because of, last year of him almost leaving. So why not just say, hey, you think maybe? No? Okay, cool. We never talked. That's it. So real quick, we're going to go through just a few schools. I mean, we're ranging anywhere from Texas to UTEP. I mean, we're going just about everywhere here. So Kansas State is the first one. This is no particular order. This is not the best job to the worst or worst to best. This is just how I put it together. And it's just by going by conference stuff. So you have Kansas State. Potentially, I mean, every year we got to look at it. Bill Snyder's 77 years old. Doesn't have that much long to go in terms of coaching. So, it remains unclear. There's no one really saying, yeah, he's returning next year, or yeah, they're going to be looking for a new head coach. But at his age, it's always a possibility that he will retire. So that could become a pretty solid opening. So we got Kansas State. Now Texas athletic director Mike Perrin recently hinted that 8 wins would be enough to keep Charlie Strong. Well, there's also pressure to get him out to go get Tom Herman, who looks like he's all but done at Houston. He looks like he's ready to go, just based on how the season's already gone. And I know they're 8-2, right? So now, if he gets just 7 in the regular season, again, a win over Kansas, maybe a loss over TCU in the next 2 weeks, then, maybe he keeps his job. I think he should. I think Texas should continue with Charlie Strong. I think next year, and Charlie Strong's already said it, he said whether I'm the coach or not next year, this team is winning 10-plus games. So shouldn't you be like, okay, well, he feels very confident. And if not, boom, you've got your seller right there to fire him next year if it doesn't turn out to be close to that. And you can say, well, you said 10-plus wins. I mean, you sounded pretty confident. You said it multiple times. And you said it was you or another coach, you would get 10 wins. So why not just rock with Charlie Strong? Because then, in the end, if Charlie Strong is successful, it's a win for everyone at Texas. It's a win for everyone. Keep Charlie Strong. I hope they do. Whether they do or not, I'm not going to be surprised if they fire him. If he goes 7-5, even with a bowl win at the end of the year, I'm not going to be surprised if they fire him. So Purdue, that job is open. You got Purdue, which maybe not be a bad job. There's some people actually throwing out rumors, and again, they're just rumors, and it's still somewhat early, that Les Miles could go to Purdue. I'd hold off on that. I really would. I really would hold off on that, but that's always an opening. Oregon, again, that Mark Helfrich cannot stay the head coach at Oregon. Just the way the season has gone, the way it's been the past 2 years, they just don't have it. Somehow it just dropped. And I don't believe, I know Marcus Mariota was a great quarterback, Heisman winning quarterback. I don't believe that there should be a huge drop off between not having Mariota and where they're at now. It's bad. LSU, again, we just talked about them. If they're smart, they keep Ed Orgeron. I know it's stupid not to think they won't throw a feeler out there for Jimbo Fisher, so I can understand that. And if Jimbo Fisher says, yeah, I really want to go, then it's a tough pick to turn that down. But Ed Orgeron, a 10-0 loss to Alabama is not bad. I know there's no moral victories, but as an interim head coach taking over halfway through the season and a very rough beginning of the season, that's not bad at all. And if he has a full off season as a head coach and makes other coaching staff changes that he feels necessary, recruits the players he envisions that could be a part of that team, LSU might be a top 10 program with Ed Orgeron next season. Jimbo Fisher, probably still top 10. But my gut feeling is to stick with Ed Orgeron. And given everything he's done, I mean, he's a good guy. Good guy. So Vanderbilt, I think Derek Mason will actually get another shot. I think he will get another shot. His Vanderbilt team looks completely different than it did in the beginning of the season. The past few weeks, they've had some tough ball games. They've been able to win some of those games, and they just look completely different. The defense actually looks really good. I mean, I don't watch a ton of Vanderbilt games, but I was able to watch one. I think it was last week against Kentucky. I believe so. If not, it was 2 weeks ago. And they just looked really good. Looked really good. I think Derek Mason might just get another year shot. Cincinnati, Tommy Tuberville, he needed a big year. They are currently 4-6 right now. And another positive for Cincinnati fans not wanting him, his buyout drops from $2.4 million to $1.5 on December 8th in just a couple weeks. So Tommy Tuberville is probably all but gone at Cincinnati. And in Cincinnati also doesn't have to worry about, well, we need to keep a coach, to get him in the Big 12 because it's obviously not happening. UConn, they took a huge step backwards, and it's unlikely the school will keep Bob Diaco. So, there's UConn. UTEP, there's been apparently some speculation that Art Briles, this could be a low profile type job for him. Now, whether you agree he should coach again or not, we've already talked about that in a separate video. You can go and comment there. But if a team is going to give out, a shot, I would not be shocked UTEP is one of those teams to give Art Briles a shot. And their current head coach right now, Sean Kugler, 16-29 overall record. His buyout is $516,000, which is somewhat kind of chump change. So UTEP hiring Art Briles could be a possibility. And finally, last school is Bowling Green. It's unlikely the school can afford and will pay Mike Jinks's $1.64 million buyout, but for a team that went to a pretty big bowl game and had huge success with Dino Babers, and that was really all because of him. It's a huge drop off now. They're 1-7. So hiring a former Texas high school football coach to be your head coach at a pretty big mid-major school, probably not the best thing when he doesn't have that much experience. He was an assistant at Tech, and it was like a consultant type thing. So I don't know. Bowling Green may or may not let go of Mike Jinks, and that could be another possibility. Art Briles, still part of that Baylor system that he created with Dino Babers. Throw him in there. Not trying to give him a shot. I'm just saying, just throwing it out there since we just talked about UTEP. Let me know if your school will have a coach opening. Do you like any of these possibilities? Do you think LSU should keep Ed Orgeron? Should they just go and get Jimbo Fisher? If Tom Herman goes somewhere, what does that affect if he wants to leave Houston? Texas fires Charlie Strong. It seems like it's going to go crazy. Les Miles, Jimbo Fisher, Tom Herman. It could just, a huge wave effect could happen after that. Let me know in the comment section down below. Also tweet me at Short Sports Show. So, Michigan quarterback. I was going to talk about the college football playoffs and how, the rankings and how ridiculous they really are. Just as of right now, I've been sold now, and it's not even an idea. It's the truth that every single ranking until the last week, literally the end of the regular season, every single ranking, it's just for money. It's just for ratings. It has nothing to do with that team proving to be the number 2, number 3, number 4, number 5, number 6 team in the country. It doesn't matter. It's all just a rating TV show. And it's funny because when I say it, it sounds like I'm trying to start like a conspiracy theory or something. But it's just ridiculous to see Washington lose to a team that is ranked and is jumping up. They now moved them to number 13 in USC. To drop 2 spots. And yeah, they got beat. I mean, it wasn't like it was a back and forth battle. I mean, they just got beat. But for Clemson to just drop 2 spots and Michigan to not drop a spot, to stay exactly at number 3 after a terrible loss to Iowa. No, they did not get blown out, but Iowa lost to Penn State in a blowout fashion. In an absolute blowout fashion. Iowa's not the same Iowa team as last year. They're not that good. Obviously, they were good enough to beat Michigan last week. But for that to happen, I mean, you're just and doing it, guess what? Everyone's talking about it. Everyone's saying, should Michigan stay at number 3? Should this be the top 4? What about Louisville at number 5? Ohio State might not even be in the Big Ten championship, and they're at number 2. Are you saying that they can not be a conference champion and be in the playoffs? Well, man, you start talking about the past 2 years, and should that make sense? And in the past playoff polls. You also could bring up for Ohio State that they can get TCU'd. And by that is that they could be at number 2 the next few weeks. They could stay in the top 4. But if they don't make it, and I should have looked up the how they can get into the Big Ten championship. But if they don't get in, and so therefore they are not the Big Ten champions, are you saying that they can stay in the top 4 until that last playoff poll, win just like they have been, and then drop them out because a conference champion gets in? Then what? Then what happens to Ohio State fans? I mean, you could do it to a TCU school who's small, and that's what happened to us. And, you know, you'll get a little bit of angriness, but you do it to an Ohio State school who keeps winning from here on out, but because they're not a conference champion, and you drop them, if they stay in the top 4 and you drop them that last week, that last poll, you started a riot. You thought these protests are bad right now. Started a big riot. So, it doesn't make sense. It doesn't matter anymore. I don't care about polls, and I think we should all recognize that polls do not matter. I'm not going to keep talking about the election, but when you have about 95% of the polls saying that it's going to be a landslide, and it happens to be a lot closer, and your pick is wrong, I don't think we should believe in polls anymore. Polls are just unnecessary opinions. Unnecessary opinions. They're ridiculous. They don't matter. They don't do anything. It's just polls don't matter. I'm going against polls. I am now no longer a poll person. I won't vote on polls anymore. I will not take interest in polls anymore because they just do not matter. They don't matter. Anyways, back to Michigan. Their quarterback Wilson Spite not expected to play for the Wolverines on Saturday. Now, and there's mixed reports whether he's going to be playing at all anymore this season. Now, Jim Harbaugh said Monday afternoon that Spite could be a game time decision for Michigan's game against Indiana. But again, there was also reports that he is going to be out for the rest of the year. I don't know. Harbaugh did say that he expects backup quarterbacks John O'Korn and Shane Morris to take majority of the team's snaps the first couple of days of practice this week. O'Korn has played in more than half of Michigan's game in the backup role so far. Okay stats. But Spite, on the other hand, you're replacing a guy who started the first 10 games of the season, threw for 2,100 yards and 15 touchdowns, and really was a game manager. Did enough to get Michigan the wins and open up the field, to open up the running game. You lose him, I mean, I'm starting to worry about Michigan. They had no emotion. They played way below their standards against Iowa, a team they really should have blown out. And now I'm worried that I don't know, it might be like last year. They might get blown out against Ohio State this year. Ohio State, to me, they are deserving of a top 4, being in the top 4. I don't have a problem with that because they just look really, really good. I mean, they have 3 wins against top 10 teams just this season alone? They're good. They're good. Washington linebacker Azim Victor broke his leg during Saturday's loss to USC and is expected to miss the remainder of the season. The good news, though, the Seattle Times reported that Washington's leading tackler is expected to bypass the NFL draft and return for his senior season in 2017. Let's see what else we have. Auburn. I don't know what Gus Malzahn was really thinking here. So Auburn's Tigers quarterback Sean White re-injured his shoulder against Georgia. Remember, we just talked about Sean White and his shoulder injury last week. And Gus Malzahn is unsure if he's going to be available against Alabama A&M. And honestly, it's Alabama A&M. No, Auburn isn't playing Alabama and A&M. No, they're playing Alabama A&M. It's a small school. So you really shouldn't even need him. But White was right now the SEC's most accurate passer. Did not leave the game after suffering the injury. But he finished 6 of 20 for 27 yards against Georgia last week. And you know how bad John Franklin III is? I absolutely hate this guy. And hate's a strong word, I know. I'm sorry. I dislike him. The coaches opted to not turn to back up John Franklin for that game. Even though their starting quarterback against a Georgia team, their quarterback was 6 of 20. They said, I'm not going to you. That should send a clear message because I think he still has an attitude problem ever since I already forgot the name of the show. Y'all know the one on Netflix. The one he's in. I disliked him when I first saw him there. The ego is just, I could not be around someone like that. I'd lose my mind. And I think it got like that, especially at at Auburn. I think it was staying like that. And that's why they're not rocking with him because he's just not that good. And I'm not the only one that feels that way because guess what? Jalen Ramsey attacked him on Twitter and I absolutely loved it. He went after him and said, hey, maybe you're just not that good. I agree. John Franklin, you're just not that good. If you don't even go in for a quarterback that is 6 of 20 and he's injured and you still don't get playing time, no, sorry, just quit. Sorry, I'm done for my rant. White told reporters Sunday that he could have done a better job of letting the coaches know the extent of his injury, but he wanted to stay in and try to win the game. Well, he didn't, and you really shouldn't play against Alabama A&M. I mean, if you cannot win without your starting quarterback against Alabama A&M, that's a problem. That's a problem. I mean, it's all SEC. We're the greatest. Well, let's see it. Sorry. All right. Let's wrap up college football. I know I sound angry. I'm really not. I'm in a great mood. I'm in a really great mood. I'm happy. Week 12 prediction time. We will start off with number 11 Oklahoma State taking on my TCU Horned Frogs. This should be an actual good game. Hopefully it's not like anything like last year because we got smacked. 11 a.m. Central Time on Fox Sports 1. TCU is actually a 4-point favorite in this game. And coming off a 40-point shellacking on the road against Baylor, and then having our bye week, everybody's healthy. Knock on wood, continue to stay that way. I think TCU, they can win this game. That is for sure. That's not being biased. They can win this game at home, coming off a big game and staying healthy. And it looks like we can actually run the freaking ball. It's funny when you run the ball, when you have a talented running back and a pretty solid O-line, that if you just run it on 3rd and 1, how it extends drives instead of going for fades and incomplete and then start punting. It's crazy how you can start winning the game. So I'm rocking with TCU this week. Huge win. Get us to bowl eligible and rock with that. So I'm going with TCU. Not just a homer pick. I really think we can win this game. Oklahoma State hasn't beaten us at home, so there's a positive right there. Going with TCU. The next game, 11 a.m. Central Time, could be a little trap game. Number 2 Ohio State takes on Michigan State. I keep trying to give some love for Michigan State. I really do. The fact that they're 3-7 right now is mind blowing. I don't know how they could be this bad. I mean, I understand that the talent at quarterback isn't really there. The O-line is shaky. You don't have playmakers at receiver. There's just not a lot you can do when that's the issue. So, but it is a home game. It's at East Lansing, 11 a.m. Central Time on ESPN. Ohio State is a 22.5-point favorite. So, bettors are, I understand where they're coming from. But Ohio State, I'm not saying they're on upset alert. I'm just saying it could be a trap game. It could be a lot closer in the first half than a lot of people might expect. Ohio State might be up 6-10 points most. I'm taking Ohio State here, but I'm just saying, I think it might be a little bit closer than people think, and at least in the first half, and maybe in the first 3 quarters. It might switch after that, and then after that, then I'm clear. Florida takes on LSU. I believe Florida's 24 and LSU 16. I don't understand why the college football playoff polls, they came out at 8 o'clock last night, Central Time. What happened to the 6 o'clock? I mean, geez, I don't understand. They're just really trying to get the money. Anyways, Florida against LSU. Either way, 12 p.m. Central Time on SEC Network. I am taking LSU. I believe LSU is a 13.5 point favorite. Taking the LSU Tigers here, rocking with them. They're just good. They're just good. They're rolling right now. They're rolling. Washington State, number 22 Washington State taking on number 10 Colorado. Yes, the Colorado Buffaloes. This isn't 1999 or 97, whenever they were good. This is 2016, and Colorado is ranked number 10. Anything can happen, ladies and gentlemen. The year of anything that can happen. 2 p.m. Central Time on Fox Sports Networks. It's one of them. They haven't listed what network it's going to be on. I guarantee you it's going to be on Fox Sports. So it's just, you know, I don't know which one. It could be Fox Sports 1. It could just be Fox. It could, I don't know. So if you want to watch the game, it's going to be somewhere on Fox Sports. Just go to Fox Sports Go and just watch off of that. Colorado is a 4-point favorite. I am taking Colorado. I'm happy Colorado's number 10. Hopefully they can make some noise. They've been recruiting hard in the Texas area like crazy. They normally do, but they're actually getting good recruits from the state of Texas to go there. So that's pretty awesome to see. I hope Colorado wins this game. Hope they win big. Not a huge fan of Washington State. I mean, they're alright, but, you know, rocking with Colorado. Hopefully they win big here. Actually, I'm kind of shocked they're a 4-point favorite. So maybe a little bit a bump. And finally, our last game, number 9 Oklahoma goes on the road to number 14, I think, West Virginia. I don't know what West Virginia's ranked. I think they're 14 or 16. I don't know. 7 p.m. Central Time on ABC. Oklahoma is a 3-point favorite. I'm rocking with Oklahoma here. Another big win over a struggling Baylor team. But D.D. Westbrook, I'm telling you, I'm saying it right now. I know I said it earlier, but I'm saying it again. Is going to be a steal in the draft. He's the best slot receiver in the draft. Originally, earlier this season, before the season started, I said Ryan Switzer because he's a mini Wes Welker. He's not looking too good this year. Could be because no, it can't be quarterback play because Trubisky's pretty good. He doesn't look that good this year. D.D. Westbrook is good. He's good. He's going to drop into the second, third, even possibly fourth round. I doubt that late, but second or third round, I'm telling you, he is looking like one of the best wide receivers in college football right now. He's going to be a slot receiver in the NFL, so I don't know if that's worthy of a first round pick, but I'm telling you, D.D. Westbrook going with Oklahoma here. I think they win big. West Virginia looks like trash the past 2 weeks against, even against Tech and against, Texas, obviously last week in that loss. They look like trash, and I think Oklahoma wins big here. Even on the road, on ABC, in Morgantown, at night, still taking Oklahoma.
Today's show is sponsored by InnerGrind. Based out of Houston, Texas, let former Texas State linebacker Michael Rakpo help you reach your fitness and nutrition goals. With personal training classes that start at $40 a session, why not be a part of this rising program? Now, whether your goals are to lose weight, gain muscle mass, find the right off-season program, or even for you ladies out there to get that booty blast, you can do it all with InnerGrind. Not a Houston area, not a problem. InnerGrind has a program that is personalized just for you. InnerGrind has everything you need to meet your personal and healthy goals. NFL linebackers like Titans Brian Orakpo, Chiefs Derek Johnson, Buccaneers running back Charles Sims, and San Diego Chargers cornerback Craig Mager, along with many other young athletes, have already begun. Find your personalized workout and nutrition plan at InnerGrind.com and call 832-475-2829. That's InnerGrind.com, 832-475-2829. Unleash your inner grind.
All right, let's move on to the NFL. Chicago Bears wide receiver Alshon Jeffrey has been suspended without pay for the next 4 games for violating the NFL policy on performance-enhancing substances. In a statement released Monday, Jeffrey said he took a recommended supplement to battle inflammation, and it contained an ingredient on the league's banned substance list. Quote, I take full responsibility, and I'm deeply upset with myself for not doing the proper research on this supplement. I want to apologize to my family, the Bears organization, my teammates, and Bears fans. I will work hard to earn back the respect and the trust of the Bears nation. and look forward to being back on the field, end quote. He'll be eligible to return to Chicago's active roster following the Bears game against the Detroit Lions on December 11th. Jeffrey is playing under the franchise tag worth $14.6 million this year, but he leads the team with 630 receiving yards. Potentially, he is a free agent next year. The only way that doesn't happen is, of course, if the Bears apply their franchise tag or re-sign him to a long-term contract. But if they, really, it's the only way they keep him guaranteed next year, franchise tag. They can offer him long-term contract, but that means he's automatically already a free agent. So, what they do with that, if he wants to go test a free agency, which I have a feeling he will, just because Jay Cutler's not going to be there. The Bears are obviously pretty bad. They could get a rookie quarterback if he wants to deal with that or not. Who knows? He was almost potentially traded. And it's not like he's going to have a short list of suitors. I mean, everyone is going to want to sign Alshon Jeffrey next year. And he could get paid pretty big. He could get paid. So, he'll definitely be wanting to look out for that. So next is, we heard it yesterday. Tony Romo gave his press conference. And now I'm going to say this first. Whether this was a PR thing, and not saying it was a PR stunt, but saying, whether those were his exact words or they weren't, it felt sincere. You could tell the fire in him and how upset he is kind of saying it, because he's basically forced to give the team fully to Dak Prescott, because Dak's earned it. And exactly what he said. And, we all know the Dallas Cowboys job belongs to Dak Prescott. And he's earned it. He's earned it. Basically, that's it. He's earned it. So down for Tony Romo. Where is Tony Romo going to play in 2017? Because his future with the Dallas Cowboys, well, there really isn't a future anymore. It's all but over. Cowboys don't need him. I know a lot of people are going to say, well, he could sit there and sit back, and in case Dak gets hurt or struggles, maybe Tony Romo could go in. It's just, that's a perfect world scenario. But in the NFL, the way it works, that's not going to happen. And if it did, it would just cause more trouble. Because again, if Dak ended up struggling next year or so, and you put Romo in for a game, well, then you're going to have all the media again. It's not like, it just doesn't work that way. So now, did a little research, looked up where Romo could potentially play in 2017, because there are a few teams that would give him a contract offer. First, and again, this is no particular order. Now, I will say this, Romo should just retire from the NFL and just go play professional golf. He could, all honesty, he could play PGA golf. He could become a professional golfer. He's that good, and he could do it. He could do it. So, he wouldn't be taking any hits. His back might be a little bit of a problem, so I don't really know, but Tony Romo could play golf. Just throwing it out there. So first we got the New York Jets. Now Ryan Fitzpatrick, gone. Geno Smith, gone. Christian Hackenberg and Bryce Petty. Is that really who you really want to lead your team with? Now Bryce Petty looked okay last week. Looked okay. But is that really where you want to build your future at? Now, potentially, that means if they can go get Tony Romo next year, and it's not like, Mr. Hayes would say no to that, because he brought in another old guy a few years back, a guy named Brett Favre, that's right. So it's not like, it's out of the realm that Romo could go play in New York. So in that case, they could go use an early draft pick on another part of the team, right? They could build around something else and use that win now mentality. Then they also almost traded Richardson to the Cowboys, so they could move him on draft day, and then you get another top pick. Maybe that does something for you. Maybe that you start building something there. Tony Romo's your quarterback. So Jets are a possibility. Then you have the San Francisco 49ers. Cap's all but gone next year in San Francisco, and possibly Chip Kelly too. And I know what you're thinking, well, if Chip Kelly stays, Romo can't really run that offense. Guys, drop it. There is no spread option offense with Chip Kelly in the NFL. It hasn't happened. If it's not happening with Kaepernick, it's not happening with anybody else. And I know what you're saying, well, maybe Deshaun Watson, Brad Kaiser. It's not happening. Move on. So Romo could be the veteran quarterback that they might need. He could change the culture in the locker room. Again, it's all about a win now for every team that brings in Tony Romo. So you change the locker room, you change the culture in the Bay Area, and you go to a team that you might be able to turn around pretty quickly. So you have that, and you have, again, a top pick where you can use and go get a receiver or a top O lineman. Leonard Fournette, I don't know. No, they're going to have a top 5 pick, so probably not. But you get what I'm saying. They could end up building for the future while having a win now with Tony Romo. It could work out. Then you have the Chicago Bears. Now, Romo attended Eastern Illinois, so maybe a little homecoming type thing for the Bears. Jay Cutler also all but gone for the Bears. They're going to be in the quarterback market. They can go pick him up, keep Alshon Jeffrey like we just discussed, and see what you got with that. I think the Bears would be okay with bringing in Tony Romo over Jay Cutler. Possibly. I don't know. Bears fans, you can let me know. Last 3 teams. The Arizona Cardinals. Now, if Carson Palmer decides to hang it up and retire, Romo could enter right in. Arizona's been able to what's the word I'm looking for? Reviving veterans, back. I mean, you have Kurt Warner, sucked, then to the Super Bowl. Carson Palmer, sucked, almost to the Super Bowl. Tony Romo, injured, not really sucks, but maybe, right? You get what I'm saying. Arizona Cardinals could also be another team. The Cleveland Browns, I know. I'm just saying. The Cleveland Browns, I mean, they have no direction right now. They could offer him. I doubt it's kind of weird. I don't really say I doubt they will because I don't really know. I don't think anybody knows if they would actually offer him or not. I wouldn't be surprised if they do or don't. It's just within that. But they are an option. They are a team looking for a quarterback. The wild card that I want to throw out there, and it's most likely not happening, but I want to throw it out there. It's a wild card, it's a dark horse, whatever you want to call it. I'm going to throw it out there. The Jacksonville Jaguars. Whoa, before you click off the video, before you stop the show, here's why. Now, Bortles, he took a huge step back. I mean, a tremendous step back. An almost shocking and alarming step back. Now, and it might most likely cost Gus Bradley his job. So the same thing as the 49ers here. This could be bring in the veteran. You change the culture. You change that locker room. You get the young bucks of your star receivers and your young talent to look up to a Tony Romo. And Tony Romo leads this team. He steps in and just leads this team. And it's not like it's hard to win the AFC South. I mean, they're bad. The Colts suck. The Texans are inconsistent. The Titans, young, looking alive, but so many flaws as well. It's not, and I'm not saying Romo makes them an instant contender, but it definitely makes them an AFC South contender. And that could be something the Jaguars look at. And again, it's still a top draft pick. You still got to build for the future. You're already building for the future, but you can win now with a Tony Romo. So, and I know I'm not saying we throw out Bortles. I think it's just, I mean, he's throwing a lot of picks, guys. It's just been bad. I don't know. And it seems like all of his stats that we all talk about Bortles all come in that garbage time. In the fourth quarter when they're already out, he's getting a chunk of yardages and the touchdowns start going up. So maybe Bortles isn't actually all that good. That's another discussion video we could have. So tweet me at Short Sports Show. Where do you see Tony Romo playing in 2017? Do you still see him in Dallas? I don't. I do not see him in a Dallas uniform next year. I do see him in one of those. Let me know in the comment section down below. Also tweet me at Short Sports Show and become a fan on Facebook, The Short Sports Show. That's what I see. That is what I see. Russell Wilson announced Monday that he is joining an ownership group led by investor Chris Hansen that is working on building an NBA/NHL arena in the Seattle's Sodo neighborhood. Hansen and his investment group announced last week that they would pay for the arena with private funds. Quote, "We couldn't be more thrilled that Russell is joining our partnership and continued efforts to bring the NBA and NHL back to Seattle," Hansen said in a statement to the AP. I'm happy. I'm happy. I want Seattle to bring back the Supersonics, or I want the NBA to bring back the Supersonics to get in Seattle. NHL, cool, throw them in there. Why not? Seattle needs professional basketball, probably professional hockey. I don't really care for hockey, but they need the NBA back. They need the Supersonics. Seattle, it works. It all works. So I'm glad Russell Wilson, the Seahawks quarterback, is joining right into that. New England Patriots tight end Rob Gronkowski, his injury is not overly serious, and Gronkowski does not have a punctured lung, apparently, as it was reported. So it is not known if the injury will affect Gronkowski's status for Sunday's game in San Francisco. He was seen in the locker room Monday and said hello to reporters, but did not discuss his injury, and said after the game that the hit was, quote, probably one of the hardest I've got hit in my career, for sure, by a good, fast player who's like a missile. And that player was Earl Thomas of the Seahawks. So that's pretty interesting. And that's to keep an eye on to see where Gronkowski, if he's going to play or not this year. Or, this week. Let's see what else we have. 5 NFL players on Wednesday will travel to Capitol Hill to discuss police brutality and race issues with members of Congress, including a possible meeting with the Speaker of the House, Paul Ryan. The meetings were conceived by Detroit Lions wide receiver Anquan Boldin, who is known for his off-the-field community work. Boldin's teammate safety Glover Quinn, Philadelphia Eagles safety Malcolm Jenkins, and Cleveland Browns quarterback Josh McCown, as well as wide receiver Andrew Hawkins, will all be the 5 people going to talk and hear from Congress. So these meetings were organized by Andrew Belugas, an associate director for marketing for the Nature Conservatory, who also advises players like Boldin on how they could have more of an influence off the field. Now, the NFL Players Association has also worked to arrange the meetings with Ryan and some of the members of the White House staff. Now, Boldin, he told ESPN that there's a huge mistrust between police and the African-American community, and, quote, I want to help close that gap, end quote, he said. So, hopefully these meetings will go good, and hopefully we get some real good discussion, real good talks in there. So finally, one of our, I think this is our, no, we got one more after this. It's a rant. It's a rant, I think. People of America. No. People just need to stop making excuses for and against the Dallas Cowboys. I got my rant right here, so I'm going to be looking back and forth here. Now, yes, they have one of the best O-lines in the NFL, if not the best O-line. But I believe we need to stop making an excuse that it's not in part of Ezekiel Elliott either. Now, I get it. He might not be the NFL leading rusher with this offensive line. I'm okay with that. But I'm also not saying that he's not going to be one of the top running backs in the league this year, with or without that offensive line. I think without that offensive line, I think he would be in the top 5, maybe even the top 3 running back in the league right now. But it seems like every time we talk about Ezekiel Elliott and how good he is, or Dak Prescott and the Dallas Cowboys, it seems like there's always an excuse, whether it's a Dallas fan or not a Dallas fan, that it's all because of the offensive line, or the offense is simple, so it guides around what Dak Prescott can do. Well, the last time I checked, as a coach, you are supposed to build around what you have in the team. And the offense isn't simple in Dallas. It's not a complex system as in maybe the Patriots offense, but it's definitely not stupid or simple. So, to take anything away from Elliott or Dak Prescott is just ridiculous. It really is. To this point, maybe week 4, week 5, I get why we could have that conversation. But at this point, with the Dallas Cowboys leading the NFL at 8-1, and what we have seen so far from Dak Prescott and Ezekiel Elliott, there should be no more excuses for how good these 2 rookies actually are. I know it's mind-boggling to see a rookie duo be this good, but this isn't the first time any of us have seen a rookie step into the league, whether they were a first overall pick or undrafted, to step into the league their first year and have tremendous success. This isn't the first time we've seen that. And again, maybe as a rookie duo, Maybe it is the first time. I don't think it has been, but I'm just helping people out. But Dak has the football IQ, and the way, the precision, the touch that he has on the football has nothing to do with the offensive line or how simple the offense is. Dak, and this is not coming from a Cowboys fan. I am not a Cowboys fan. I don't dislike the Cowboys, but I'm not, that's not my team, right? The Chargers are, as you see in back. But Dak is a really good quarterback. And he's going to continue to be. Ezekiel Elliott is a really good running back. Now, the Dallas Cowboys, they're playing as a complete team right now. They're running the ball effectively, which, their defense is not on the field as much. But that's what you're supposed to do as a team. That's what you're supposed to do as a team. And it seems like it's an automatically first excuse every time. First automatic excuse we could bring up. Oh, it's just because the O-line's good. Oh, the defense is on the field that much. Wasn't that the point for every team here? To run the ball effectively, open up the passing game, keep your defense off the field as much as possible, and win the game? At least that's the last time I checked. Finally, I end up with this. Is Zeke going to rush for 1,800 yards a season for the rest of his career? No. But if you're shocked that he's going to be a 1,400-yard rusher for the next 4 to 5 years, you should really watch more football. And should really actually study. Because yes, he can be, and I would not be shocked if he is a 1,400-yard rusher per season for the next 4 to 5 years. Now, the Cleveland Browns, they could have had this rookie duo, which is sad and funny at the same time. Now, let's say Cleveland did make that. Let's say they drafted Ezekiel. They didn't trade their second overall pick and picked up Ezekiel Elliott. And then picked Dak Prescott, laying in the second, third, fourth round. Now, would they be 8-1 right now? No. Would Ezekiel have over 1,255 rushing yards right now? Probably not, but I would say, and I say in good faith, that he would be over an 800, 900-yard rusher at this point with the Cleveland Browns and their offensive line. Yes, no doubt in my mind. Now, trying to go on here. Now, I would also say that the Browns in a weak AFC North would be a contender in the AFC North. I would think they would be 4-6, 6-4. Or I guess we're at 9 games right now. Yeah, somewhere around there. 10 games. So, I wouldn't be saying that they're the best team in the NFL right now like the Cowboys are. But I believe we would be seeing both rookies, Dak Prescott and Ezekiel Elliott, both being very successful and leading a very successful team as well. Even if they were on the Browns. Like I said, I think they'd be 6-4, 7-5, somewhere around there. So, I think in the end, we just need to accept that Dak Prescott and Ezekiel Elliott are really good rookies and will continue to only get better for them, for themselves and the team. So get over it. It's not just the offensive line. It's not just the play calling. It's not just not having the defense out on the field. These two guys are really good. And they happen to play on the same team. And they happen to play on Dallas Cowboys, which is either America's team or America's most hated team. Get over it. They're good. They're going to continue to get good, better. They're going to get good. Yeah, that's what they're going to do. So, that's it. I don't want to hear about the offensive line anymore. Yes, they're good. Ezekiel Elliott's also pretty good. So, that's it. That's my rant. Follow me at Short Sports Show. Become a fan on Facebook, The Short Sports Show. I just had to get that out. I just had to get that out because, man, that is frustrating to keep hearing. All right, Jared Goff. He's going to make his first start at quarterback for the Los Angeles Rams against the Miami Dolphins. And actually doesn't get that much easier. Now, again, Miami's on a 4-game winning streak, so it's not going to be an easy game. Then the Rams play at New Orleans, at New England. Then they host Atlanta. Then they visit Seattle on Thursday night. And then they finish with home games against San Francisco and Arizona. It's going to be tough. Tough stretch for this rookie. Let's see what else we got. We're actually running out of time here. Blair Walsh, he just got canned. He is gone. The Vikings have fired him. He is now but gone. So, Carolina Panthers quarterback Cam Newton doesn't know why ratings have been down in the NFL this season, but he knows what he'd like to see more of. Players having fun and celebrating. And I think we can all agree the way to make the NFL great again, to make the NFL fun again, is to just stop being crybabies and worrisome about what people are going to write. Because it seems like what the NFL is trying to do. They're trying to be politically correct, and it's hurting the game. So, therefore, take away these celebrating penalties. Let them have fun. Now, I think we need to limit it. I don't want it to turn into AFL or the Arena Football League where it gets, they're doing the bowling pin crap thing. It's funny the first time it happened. Now it's just childish, amateurish, and something you see in a backyard football thing that the NFL doesn't want to get to. So, limit it and be clear with some of the examples. And I know it's all about creativity when it comes to celebration, so it's hard to say, oh, you can only do this, this, and this. But just say, okay, look, you can do a Sharpie. You can celebrate with your team. You can jump up. You can dab. You can jump into the crowd. Lambeau Field shouldn't be the only place you can jump into. Have fun, right? Have signs. Have something prepared or whatever. That's cool. But make sure it's not too, amateurish, backyardish, stupid. But let's let them have fun after a sack, after a fumble, after a touchdown, after an interception, whatever it might be. Let the players have fun. Because Cam Newton brings up a great point that quote, football is hard, man. I can't stress it enough. The way my body feels right now is not going to be the same when it feels on Thursday. Now I'm sore, but it's still knowing Thursday I got to give everything. And if scoring a touchdown, getting a sack, getting a win, let alone all that bottle up and staying here until 10 at night and here at 6 a.m. in the morning, all of that energy that you put spending time away from your family, all that bottled up, and being able to do exactly what you planned and foresaw yourself doing, you are owed something, end quote. So that's to be able to celebrate, to let loose, to have fun. And he goes on to say that, he's got his own foundation, and he sees the influence of other NFL players throughout the year, talking to the kids. Just let them have fun. Let them celebrate. Relax a little bit. You don't have to be a robot like what the Andrew Hawkins did of this Cleveland Browns, their wide receiver, after he scored a touchdown, just acted like a robot, dropped the ball and turned around. It's a clear example. Let them have fun. I grew up watching Chad Ochocinco Johnson, Chad Johnson, Chad Ochocinco, whatever you want to call him, T.O., Randy Moss, the end of Deion Sanders. I saw these guys having fun, being crazy in a good way. The Hall of Fame jacket, the Sharpie, Randy Moss, I don't agree with it, but the pulling down the pants, faking the pulling down the pants thing, that was funny. T.O., the pom-poms, doing everything, the popcorn. It's fun. It's great to see. That gets people excited to watch football, especially when you have some boring matchups. I mean, some really bad matchups that we've seen this so far in the early season. So just allow more celebrating. Allow more fun. That's what would jump ratings up. And I get people, with the political season that we had, I get why the ratings went down. But the NFL still needs to fix something, and that's to have more fun. Drop the penalties, have more fun, and also drop these damn commercials. Why do we need a commercial after every kickoff? I mean, I know I'm not the only one feeling this way. I get advertisers and money. I get the business side. Trust me, I'm a sports management major. I get this stuff. But damn, I don't want to see a kickoff and then commercial for six commercials, and then, back to football, and then someone gets hurt, we got to get a timeout. There's another damn commercial. Have something interacting. Let's talk about something. Show me some stats that I don't know. As a sports broadcaster, I've been in the booth. I have seen how much information you have each and every week. Trust me, there is 60% of things that fans do not hear at the end of the game because broadcasters don't say it because, obviously you're talking about the game. You're giving the play-by-play of the game. There's so much information fans don't even know about the players, about the games, that they could be talking about instead of going all these damn commercials. Just throw a sponsor. Just say, hey, these few stats are sponsored by blah, blah, blah. You still get paid. You still get some money. You keep fans interested. You keep them in there. I'm just saying, NFL, you can come and hire me. We can talk. We can come talk. I mean, I'm available. I'm just saying. Shoot. I'm kidding. All right, last topic before we do our predictions and wrap up the show. It's not a rant. It's just a quick thing because it's very kind of frustrating to see, and this is kind of controversial. So I like comments. I don't care. So San Francisco 49ers quarterback Colin Kaepernick is well aware of how his decision to not participate in a recent presidential election while promoting a message of change has been received. Now, I know the first quick thing when I'm against that he didn't vote. And I know the first response I hear back is, well, it's not like his one vote mattered. Yeah. I mean, the state of California was won by Hillary Clinton, and I don't care where you stand. I don't care if you're a Clinton supporter, if you're a Trump supporter, if you're a Johnson supporter, if you're a Stein supporter, that's just mind-blowing. But if you were a supporter of her or anybody else, or you didn't like any of them, because trust me, I didn't like any of them either, okay? I still voted. I didn't vote for Trump. But the thing is that it's kind of a have to. You have to vote. And I know people are saying, no, you don't. You cannot have change if you do not do something. Now, again, yeah, did his one vote for not voting for, either one of those, did it matter? No. I mean, state of California was pretty clear about who they wanted, and his one vote wouldn't have mattered. But there were several thousand, hundreds of thousand people did not vote because they didn't like. And I get it. But there's also several thousand of those are also complaining about who's president. You have and I told this to a lot of people who didn't vote. I said, you have no say. You didn't vote. You did not vote. You cannot complain about who's president. You cannot complain about the state that we are in or might be in or whatever. You can't. It means absolutely nothing. You didn't vote. You did not vote. And kneeling, like I said in the beginning, is not gonna do a damn thing. And if you don't vote to actually make change, and there's other in the state of California, there's other elections, not just the president election. There's other people that are going to be making changes that could potentially be influenced of where Kaepernick stands or not. He could have made it. The thing that also frustrates me the absolute most, is that he has not even been registered to vote. Not even registered to vote. Not even when he was at Nevada. When he was at the University of Nevada, he's actually never been registered to vote in California or Nevada. And all he wants to talk about is the oppression. Well, there were several hundreds of thousands African Americans who died so that you could have the opportunity, the chance to vote, to have a say, and you don't even register. And you're talking about oppression. Get out of my face. How can you talk about oppression when people died for you to give a chance, the opportunity to go vote and make a difference in your community, in your county, in your state, in your country, and you don't even register? Shut up, Kaepernick. I don't like him. I do not like Kaepernick anymore. He's a poser. He just wants attention. That's it. Don't talk about oppression to me, Kaepernick. Don't. It's just ridiculous. Absolutely ridiculous. He said it didn't matter who won the election because neither candidate was a good choice. Cool if you agree with that or not. I don't understand. How can you want change and not do anything? Again, kneeling on a football field during the national anthem is not going to make change. Is it going to get people to talk? Absolutely. And I'm not saying anything against the people that have kneeled or have not put their hand over their heart. I don't care where you stand on it. But when you have the opportunity to actually make a change in your community, in your local community, wherever he lives in the state of California, in that county of California, because there's local elections happening, that can make that community better and that county better. The city elections, and then to the state of California, and then the country that he says oppresses him so much, and he doesn't register to vote. Whew. If this was an explicit show, I'd be saying a lot more right now. I just do not understand. It's so frustrating. That's so frustrating. So, damn, we should. All right, thankfully we got predictions to bring up the happiness in the show, but that makes no sense to me. Makes no sense to me whatsoever. All right. Steelers against the Browns, 12 p.m. Central Time on CBS. Game is, Pittsburgh is a 9-point favorite. Going with the Steelers here. Just trying to keep some hope up alive for the Browns, but it looks like they might actually go 0-16, which if you have not liked that page of the Cleveland Browns who are having a parade and they want to actually make a day, like a celebration of the day of the Browns going 0-16. If you haven't liked it, I actually kind of want to go. I kind of want to go to that parade. If they go 0-16, I kind of want to go. It seems like a pretty good time because they're all having fun. It's all having fun. It's not like there's probably going to be some drunk people getting into fights, but it's all going to have fun. So I don't know. I don't want them to go 0-16, but if they do, I kind of want to go to that parade in Cleveland. The Ravens taking on the Cowboys. 12 p.m. Dallas is a 7-point favorite. It's actually going to be a really good game. We've already talked about the Cowboys. I'm telling you, going with the Cowboys, rocking with them. Bills against the Bengals. This is a game that both need to win. Bills need to keep their playoff hopes alive and try to do something, while the Bengals are just trying to keep a season going. They're 3-5-1 right now. Cincinnati's a 3.5-point favorite. 12 p.m. Central Time on Fox. I am taking the Bengals to win this game. The Eagles going against the Seahawks, 3:25 p.m. Central Time on CBS. Seattle's a 6.5-point favorite. I'm taking the Seahawks here. Now, I was right. I was right last week that the Eagles were going to win. I said it. I said they were going to win. They did it. They did it. I'm taking the Seahawks. Actually, oh man, you know what? Shoot. I didn't check. I think we're undefeated the past 2 weeks. I think we're undefeated. That's pretty good. It's pretty good. But I am taking the Seahawks to get this win. All right, know what? No, I picked the Seahawks to win, didn't I, last week against the Patriots? Or did I pick the Patriots? I don't even remember my picks, but we're doing pretty good. I know that. Let's see what else we got. Finally, last game, Packers against Washington, 7:30 p.m. Central Time on NBC. Washington's a 2.5-point favorite. Again, right now, Washington is trying to keep a wild card hope alive because they're not winning the division. And the Packers, they're 4-5. If they drop to 4-6, you can't tell the Packers fans, the cheeseheads, to relax, because the 4-6 is not relaxing. Aaron Rodgers, there's been a lot of talk about him on whether he's truly elite and how he's dealing with the season so far. That's up to you, how you want to feel on it. I really have no opinion other than I think he's still an elite quarterback. I think he's just struggling right now, and I think it's just the whole team. Just like I believe Phillip Rivers is an elite quarterback, even though last week, not the week to talk about him, but the team is struggling. So I think it's just the team right now, along with Aaron Rodgers struggling as well. But I think it picks it up. I'm going with the Packers to win on the road, even their record at 5-5 on a big win, and it could be somewhat of a statement win to get everybody back on board with the Packers on NBC on Sunday Night Football. So taking the Green Bay Packers. Thank you guys so much for listening to the show. I hope you guys enjoyed. Thank you so much for the support on YouTube and Spreaker.com. You guys are absolutely amazing. Next week, the show will be, excuse me, wow, a little bit later. Again, we'll have a Thanksgiving special show. So we'll talk about that and just have a little bit of fun with some turkeys. I don't know. Maybe we'll get a live turkey in studio. That'd be fun, right? Or maybe I'll just eat turkey while we do the show. I don't know. No, but anyways, guys, thank you guys so much for the support. I truly, truly appreciate it. God bless every single one of y'all. As always, God first, God bless. And I will see you guys next Wednesday. I'm out. Peace.